You guys, I've been going nonstop since this book came out, and I really haven't had a chance to think. It's just the next task ahead of me, the next task ahead of me. And my video editor sent me a clip today that just brought tears to my eyes. The night of my first book signing at Barnes & Noble at the Grove in Hollywood, my friend Kristen Dalton, a wonderful actress. You remember her from The Departed, opposite Jack Nicholson, and for the critically acclaimed Gleason. I'll show you a couple of clips.
You're giving me a hard on.
Are you sure it's me? Not all that talk about whiffing and crawling up asses.
Watch your fucking mouth.
No. You watch it. Here it is, Your Highness. As ordered.
Get in the car, I want to show you something.
What's got you all hot and bothered?
Get in the car.
We got $75 laying around here. $75! And he's got all that stuff, but I got mine right here.
Yeah, you got it here, and you got it right here, and you got it right here.
She read the preface to my book, and I was backstage and I was trying to listen, but I was so overcome with anxiety about having to speak in front of 275 people that I literally couldn't hear her. And I just heard it for the first time, and now I'm going to share it with you guys.
Yes, girl. You know, I met Scott over a decade ago at sort of a Friendsgiving, which is very popular in Los Angeles because many of us come here from all over the world and we don't have families. So our friends put together a fabulous Friendsgiving so that we can all, you know, feel normal a little bit, because none of us really are. You know, right before I read this, I just want to say that Hollywood is a place where people come from all over the world to follow their passions, their ambitions, their pursuits, to become great writers, you know, great musicians, singers, dancers, actors, cinematographers, filmmakers, and they all come to Hollywood, and that's where all these wonderful, wacky, crazy, fantastic, and wonderful, and sometimes tragic and shocking people come together and collide. And Scott Nathan is a great photographer, but a raconteur to no end. And this book is the stories of all of these places that he's been, where all of these personalities collide, that are quite fun and and sometimes shocking. Anyway, I'm going to read the preface, which is written by Scott in first person. So this isn't me speaking, this is him speaking. And here we go, so you can get to know him a little bit more before they start reading his stories. And I just had to pick these up at CVS because I lost my glasses. You know that sign in the airplane lavatory that says, "In consideration of other passengers, please wipe the basin for the person after you"? That is generally how I've tried to live my life, considerate and putting others first. I am a +1, an insider, an outsider, a survivor. I am a cockroach, easy to hurt, hard to kill. I never really fit in anywhere, a skinny, left-handed, red-headed Jew with few natural skills for navigating childhood. I hated most kid things. I hated superhero comic books and most children's toys and games. I read business magazines. I took pictures when it wasn't a thing. Bedtime Stories for Grown-Ups was the original title for this book. I had to ditch it since there were other books with that title. This was never meant to be a commercial undertaking. It was to make my friends laugh on social media and offer a splash of catharsis. The original title came as a result of writing some of these dispatches in varying stages of an ambient blackout. I've suffered from insomnia my entire life and depression for most of it. The stories were loose, loud, messy, honest, and for whatever reason, they seemed to resonate with my friends. And in short order, tens of thousands of strangers. The routine was consistent. I'd wake up in the morning to figure out what I'd eaten in my sleep. I'd look around my bedside and feel relieved to not see any plates in my bed. Then I'd walk to the kitchen to pull 2 shots of black Neapolitan espresso, only to discover another empty pint of chocolate Haagen-Dazs in the sink. Mornings would bring anxiety. What did I do? Who did I text? I'd light a cigarette and pour the bitter, tarry liquid into my face as I opened Facebook on my phone. One morning, I woke up to 257 likes and 79 comments on how I lost my virginity. Now I wake up to often thousands, thanks to TikTok. I don't trust anymore, or less than I trust Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk, so really, what's the difference? My friends and strangers encourage me to keep going and to compile these into a book. I think the primary reason I never took it so seriously is because, unlike photography, storytelling came easily to me. Looking back, much of my family were raconteurs. As some are born singers, I am a born storyteller. Most interestingly, I noticed that I was affecting change. Others in my sphere began to feel safe owning their truths and similar confessions, often in my same patchwork formatting, which I don't mind. They stopped flexing as much. They began finding the humor in life's curveballs, embarrassments, and humiliations. This book is designed very deliberately to be non-linear and read with today's and my attention span in mind. Depending on your diet, you should be able to read any of these in the time it takes to go to the bathroom, wait to be called into the doctor's office, or wait in line to board a flight. So here we go. And I also just want to say that I'm here to support my friend Scott, because not just because he's talented, but because I truly believe that if you support your friends and your community and those around you and lift them up, that you also lift yourselves up. And lastly, really quickly, I walked in on my little sister, who's much younger than me. She's 14. She was 14, and she was doing this with a book and breathing. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And she said, "Don't you just love the smell of a good book?" And so now every time I crack a new book open, I do that, breathe, and I was like, "Don't you just love the smell of a good book?" She knew it was going to be good before she read it. And so this is one of those books, and I hope we all feel like that every time we open up a book. Thank you so much.
And none of this would have been possible without you guys, without you people on TikTok encouraging me to actually make this into a book, not just a bunch of social media posts. So thank Kristen, thank you. Also, I have an alliance with this company, Grand Prix Originals, and if you like this jacket, it's now available in my store as of today.